Have you ever sat down with a cup of coffee, maybe looking out at the garden or just thinking about the day, and wondered, how can I keep feeling strong, vibrant, and full of life as the years go by? It's a question so many of us ask, especially as we get into our 70s and beyond. You're not alone if you've noticed your energy dipping or if you're starting to think more about your health. The good news is, there's so much you can do to stay healthy, avoid common pitfalls, and live a life that's not just long, but truly fulfilling. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Now, I know health can feel like a big, overwhelming topic, especially when you hear scary statistics about aging. But let's cut through the noise. Did you know that after age 75, the vast majority of health issues that lead to serious trouble come down to just a handful of causes? In fact, 99% of deaths at this stage are tied to 5 key reasons. The even better news? These are things you can take control of with simple, practical steps. Today, we're going to walk through these 5 reasons and, more importantly, share how you can avoid them to stay healthy and keep enjoying the life you love, whether that's gardening, spending time with grandkids, or just savoring those quiet moments with your coffee. So, grab a comfy seat, maybe a notepad if you like jotting things down, and let's dive into the first thing you need to know to protect your health after 75. The first reason so many people face serious health challenges as they age is heart disease. It's no secret that heart issues are a leading cause of trouble, but here's what might surprise you: a lot of heart problems don't just sneak up out of nowhere. They're often tied to habits and choices we've made over time, and the good news is, you can start making changes today that make a big difference. Your heart is like the engine of your body, it keeps everything running. But things like high blood pressure, cholesterol buildup, or even stress can wear it down. So, what can you do to keep your heart strong? First, let's talk about movement. You don't need to run marathons or join a gym. Something as simple as a daily walk can work wonders. Picture this: a 20-minute stroll around your neighborhood, maybe waving to a neighbor or noticing the flowers blooming. Studies show that regular walking can lower your blood pressure and improve blood flow, which takes stress off your heart. If walking feels tough, even gentle chair exercises, like lifting your legs or moving your arms, can get your blood pumping. The key is to do something you enjoy, so it doesn't feel like a chore. Then there's food. I'm not going to tell you to give up everything you love, because who wants to live without a slice of cake now and then? But small swaps can go a long way. For example, try adding more colorful veggies to your plate, think bright peppers, spinach, or carrots. These are packed with nutrients that help keep your arteries clear. And if you're a fan of salty snacks, maybe swap some of those chips for a handful of unsalted nuts. They've got healthy fats that are great for your heart. A friend of mine, Joan, who's 78, started adding a small salad to her dinner every night, and she says she feels lighter and more energetic already. It's those little changes that add up. Stress is another big one for your heart. I know, life can throw a lot at you: worries about family, finances, or just the world in general. But taking a few minutes each day to breathe deeply or do something calming, like listening to music or even petting your dog, can lower your stress hormones and protect your heart. Try this: next time you're feeling tense, close your eyes, take 5 slow breaths, and picture a happy memory. It sounds simple, but it's like hitting a reset button for your body. Now, let's move on to the second big reason for health challenges after 75, falls and injuries. This one hits close to home for a lot of us. Maybe you've had a moment where you tripped on a rug or felt a little unsteady going down the stairs. Falls are one of the top causes of serious injury for folks over 75, and they can lead to bigger problems like broken bones or even hospital stays. But here's the thing: you can absolutely reduce your risk with some practical steps. Start with your home. Take a look around and see if there's anything that might trip you up: loose cords, cluttered floors, or rugs that aren't tacked down. I remember visiting my aunt, who's 80, and we spent an afternoon moving a few things around in her living room. We got rid of a wobbly side table and put brighter bulbs in her lamps. She said it made her feel so much safer walking around at night. Little fixes like that can make a huge difference. Then there's balance. You don't need to be a gymnast to stay steady on your feet. Simple exercises, like standing on one leg for a few seconds while holding onto a chair, can strengthen the muscles that keep you upright. You can even do this while brushing your teeth. There are also classes, like Tai Chi, that are fantastic for balance and gentle on your joints. My neighbor, Tom, started a Tai Chi group at his community center, and he swears it's why he's still chasing his grandkids around the yard at 77. Another tip is to check your shoes. Those comfy slippers might feel great, but if they're worn out or don't have good grip, they could make you slip. Look for shoes with sturdy soles and good support, even for around the house. And don't be shy about using a cane or walker if you need a little extra stability. It's not about giving up independence, it's about staying active and safe so you can keep doing the things you love. One last thing about falls, make sure you're getting enough vitamin D. It's not just for bones, it helps your muscles stay strong, which keeps you steady. You can get it from sunlight, foods like salmon or eggs, or even a supplement if your doctor recommends it. My cousin, Linda, started taking a daily vitamin D pill after her doctor suggested it, and she says she feels more confident walking her dog now. So, we've talked about keeping your heart strong and preventing falls, 2 huge steps towards staying healthy after 75. But there's more to cover, and the next piece is just as important. Let's keep going and talk about how you can protect your lungs and keep your breathing strong, because that's another key to feeling great and staying active. Let's talk about something we all take for granted until it feels a little harder than it used to, breathing. As we get older, our lungs can lose some of their strength, and that's the third big reason why health challenges show up after 75. Respiratory issues, like chronic lung disease or infections such as pneumonia, can sneak up if we're not careful. But don't worry, there are simple ways to keep your lungs healthy and make sure every breath feels strong and steady. First, let's think about the air you're breathing every day. If you're spending a lot of time indoors, especially in a home with poor ventilation or a lot of dust, that can irritate your lungs over time. A quick fix is to open a window now and then to let fresh air in. My friend Margaret, who's 76, started using a small air purifier in her living room, and she says it's made a huge difference in how clear her breathing feels, especially during allergy season. If you're in a dusty area or have pets, giving your home a regular tidy-up can help, too. Just vacuum under furniture or wipe down surfaces to keep the air cleaner. Exercise is another big one for your lungs, and I promise it doesn't have to be intense. Something as simple as deep breathing exercises can strengthen your lungs and make it easier to catch your breath. Try this: sit comfortably, place one hand on your belly, and take a slow, deep breath through your nose, letting your belly rise. Then exhale slowly through your mouth. Do this for 5 minutes a day, maybe while watching the sunrise or listening to your favorite song. It's calming, and it's like a workout for your lungs. If you're up for a bit more, those walks we talked about earlier are great for lung health, too. Just keep a steady pace where you can still talk but feel your breathing pick up a bit. Now, if you've ever smoked or been around secondhand smoke, you might be thinking, well, the damage is done. But here's the encouraging part: it's never too late to help your lungs. Quitting smoking, even later in life, can give your lungs a chance to heal. And if you quit years ago, you're already ahead of the game. Avoiding smoky environments, like bonfires or crowded bars, is another way to protect your lungs. I know a gentleman named Frank, who's 79, and he used to love his evening cigar. He switched to sitting outside with a cup of tea instead, and he says he's breathing easier than he has in years. One more thing: don't skip your flu shot or pneumonia vaccine. I know shots aren't anyone's favorite, but these are like a shield for your lungs. Infections can hit harder as we age, and vaccines lower your risk of getting sick. My cousin Betty, who's 77, makes it a habit to get her shots every fall, and she hasn't had a bad cold in years. Check with your doctor to make sure you're up to date, and while you're at it, ask if there's anything else you can do to keep your lungs in top shape. Now, let's shift gears to the fourth reason health can take a hit after 75, diabetes and blood sugar problems. You might be thinking, I'm fine, I don't have diabetes, but here's the thing, blood sugar issues can creep up quietly, especially as we age. Even if you don't have a diagnosis, high blood sugar can stress your body, affect your energy, and increase your risk for other problems like heart disease. So, how do you keep your blood sugar steady? It starts with what's on your plate. I'm not saying you have to overhaul your whole diet, but small tweaks can make a big difference. Try to focus on foods that don't spike your blood sugar, like whole grains, veggies, and lean proteins. For example, instead of white bread with your sandwich, go for whole grain bread or even a lettuce wrap. My neighbor Susan, who's 80, started swapping her afternoon cookies for a piece of fruit and a handful of almonds. She says she doesn't crash in the afternoon anymore, and her doctor noticed her blood sugar levels are steadier. Portion sizes matter, too. You don't need to measure everything with a scale, but try to keep your meals balanced. A good rule of thumb is to fill half your plate with veggies, a quarter with protein like chicken or fish, and a quarter with something like brown rice or sweet potato. And don't skip meals, it can make your blood sugar dip too low, which can leave you feeling shaky or tired. Even a small snack, like a piece of cheese with some crackers, can keep things stable between meals. Movement helps here, too. You don't need to do anything fancy, just getting up and moving after a meal can help your body use sugar better. A short walk, some light stretching, or even doing the dishes can make a difference. I heard about a woman named Clara, who's 78, and she started doing a little dance in her kitchen after dinner to her favorite oldies music. Not only does it help her blood sugar, but she says it's the highlight of her evening. One last tip for blood sugar, stay hydrated. Drinking enough water helps your body process sugar and keeps everything running smoothly. Aim for a few glasses throughout the day, and if plain water feels boring, add a slice of lemon or cucumber for a little flavor. If you're not sure about your blood sugar, a quick checkup with your doctor can give you peace of mind. They might recommend a simple test to see where you stand. We've covered a lot today. Keeping your lungs strong and managing your blood sugar are huge steps towards staying healthy and feeling great. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, and it's all about keeping your mind and body connected in a way that helps you thrive. Let's dive into that next and talk about how to protect your brain and stay sharp as you age. As we wrap up our journey through the 5 key reasons health can take a hit after 75, let's talk about something that ties everything together, your brain. The 5th reason we see serious health challenges in our later years is tied to cognitive decline, things like dementia or Alzheimer's. Now, I know those words can feel heavy, but here's the uplifting part, there are so many ways to keep your mind sharp and your spirit strong. Your brain is like a muscle, and with a little care, you can keep it active, engaged, and ready for all the joys life still has in store. One of the best things you can do for your brain is to keep it busy in a fun, meaningful way. Think of it like giving your mind a daily workout. You don't need to be a scholar or solve complicated puzzles, simple activities can make a big difference. For example, reading a book, doing a crossword, or even playing cards with friends can keep your brain firing on all cylinders. My friend Dorothy, who's 79, started joining a weekly book club at her local library. She says it's not just about the stories, it's the lively discussions that make her feel so alive. If you're not into reading, try something creative, like knitting, painting, or even gardening. These activities engage your brain in ways that keep it sharp and flexible. Social connection is another big piece of the puzzle. Staying connected with people, whether it's family, friends, or neighbors, does wonders for your mental health. Loneliness can creep in as we age, and it's not just about feeling sad, it can actually increase your risk of cognitive decline. So, make time for those coffee chats, phone calls, or even a quick hello to someone at the grocery store. I know a man named George, who's 82, and he makes a point to call one friend every day, just to catch up. He says it keeps him grounded and gives him something to look forward to. If you're feeling a bit isolated, consider joining a local group, maybe a walking club, a church gathering, or a class at the community center. It's not about having a packed social calendar, it's about those little moments of connection that light up your brain. Sleep is another key to keeping your mind in top shape. You've probably noticed that a bad night's sleep can leave you foggy or forgetful. As we get older, good sleep becomes even more important for clearing out the clutter in your brain and helping you stay sharp. Try to stick to a regular bedtime routine, maybe a warm cup of herbal tea, some soft music, or a few pages of a book to wind down. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet, and avoid heavy meals or screens right before bed. My cousin Ellen, who's 76, started turning off her TV an hour before bedtime and doing some gentle stretching instead. She says she's sleeping better and feels more alert during the day. Now, let's talk about food for your brain. What you eat doesn't just affect your heart or blood sugar, it's fuel for your mind, too. Foods rich in antioxidants, like berries, leafy greens, and nuts, can protect your brain cells. Fatty fish, like salmon or sardines, are packed with omega-3s that support memory and focus. If fish isn't your thing, even a handful of walnuts or some flax seeds can do the trick. And don't forget to stay hydrated, your brain needs water to function at its best. I heard about a woman named Ruth, who's 80, and she started adding a small bowl of blueberries to her breakfast. She swears it's why she's still beating her grandkids at checkers. Physical activity, which we've touched on before, is also a game changer for your brain. Moving your body increases blood flow to your brain, which helps with memory and clear thinking. You don't need to do anything intense, even a short walk, some light dancing, or stretching can make a difference. My neighbor Paul, who's 77, started doing a 10-minute yoga routine in his living room every morning. He says it's not just good for his joints, it helps him feel more focused and ready for the day. One last thing, don't be afraid to check in with your doctor about your brain health. If you're noticing memory slips or feeling a bit off, a simple conversation can put your mind at ease or catch something early. There are tests and strategies that can help, and sometimes it's just a matter of adjusting a medication or addressing something like low vitamin B12, which can affect your thinking. Being proactive is a gift you give yourself. So, let's take a moment to think about everything we've covered. We've talked about keeping your heart strong with movement and smart food choices, preventing falls by making your home safer and working on balance, protecting your lungs with clean air and deep breathing, managing blood sugar with simple diet tweaks, and now, keeping your brain sharp with activities, connection, and rest. Each of these steps is like a thread in a beautiful tapestry, one you're weaving every day to live a healthier, happier life. The truth is, you don't have to make huge changes to see a big impact. It's the small, consistent habits, like taking a walk, eating a few more veggies, or calling a friend, that add up over time. You're not just avoiding problems, you're building a life where you feel strong, engaged, and full of possibility. And that's what this is all about, living your best life, no matter your age. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one thing you're doing to stay healthy, or maybe something new you're excited to try? Your stories inspire others, so don't be shy about sharing. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more tips to keep you feeling great. Here's to thriving, laughing, and making every day count, because you deserve it.